Okay.
Okay, folks, so this is literally everything that I know about social media marketing and advertising, that sort of thing. I've taken quite a lot of different courses from different experts and stuff like that. And, I've really studied a lot on how this stuff works. And it's to the point that I could actually I realized early on, the problems that were apparent with, Russia hacking our elections. And I know exactly how they did it through social media marketing and advertising and that sort of thing. And, everybody thinks it's this really, secret kind of thing or whatever. You have to be some kind of guru to do that, to do social media advertising and marketing and that sort of thing. And you don't have to be a guru. You can just simply be you and interested in the things that you're interested in. And then what you want to do is you want to use that information that you know to invite other people into whatever your program is. And Facebook and all these other platforms actually make it very, very easy to do that. So first of all, if you're on this page, I'm letting you see my Facebook profile, nothing special there. But you can see already in my feed, there's stuff about, sunblock protection. There's the usual Discover card ads and that sort of thing. They pay a lot of money to be here. But if you scroll through the feed, occasionally you will see, sponsored advertising, like for example, Amazon Pay there and so forth. So Facebook really figures out very quickly what I'm interested in, and they will then display ads. So if you want to do the same, and that's a primary part of any kind of social media strategy, and that's across all platforms, Pinterest, Instagram, it doesn't matter. I would recommend at the bare minimum a basic, even $5 a day Facebook ad. Um, I say it's very, very important to do that. I did one a little while back, and I think it's already ended by now. But I did one for a page that I made called Coalition to End Referral Delays. Really a nonprofit type of thing. I'm just trying to get signups and I'm trying to spread awareness. And I boosted this post for all of like about $40 or something like that. And I already had a lot of comments. A lot of people shared it. 70 people shared it. 6,000 people were reached. 455 people clicked the link, the Fresno B link, and engaged with my post. And I was asking people to sign a change.org petition. And I got quite a few people to sign the post. So you see, it's a very effective means of advertising to do something like this. If you have a compelling offer, people will click on it, interact with it, comment with it, share it, all that. So the thing to keep in mind about social media advertising and that sort of thing is that there are two types of ads. There's the direct advertising, Google, Yahoo, Bing, search ads, that's direct. A television ad, definitely, very direct. Those that social really tends to lend itself very well to a little bit more indirect advertising. And that's what some of these black hat hackers have definitely have realized. They'll post up something, for example, cancer patients are being denied drugs. If I actually had spent a little more time on this, I might have been able to create, recreate this exact article on a Fresno Bumblebee site, right? And recreated this article with more direct links to my offer, the chains.org offer. In which case, all those 455 clicks might have seen my offer a lot more directly, rather than just at the top of the post where I think a lot of people missed it. Which leads me to my second point. Once you create an offer like this, keep in mind it's an indirect offer, it works better. Once you create an indirect offer like this, you're going to want to fine tune it. So after 2 different posts I did one where I was just talking, and I did another one where I shared out an article I found that was more interesting. The one where I was just talking or whatever and I spent the same amount of money on didn't seem to go very far, you know? Actually, it's not that one. There's an earlier one. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, there we go. 4,500 people reached. 381 people did something with it. Same amount of money, didn't go too far, people didn't click, right? Same amount of money, it went further, more people are clicking, more people engaging. So that's the key. If you have an offer that people like, you're going to want to make sure that you package it up in such a way so that people can see what's going on, you know, what the offer is and that sort of thing, and then you're going to want to refine it, right? So if you create an offer and you go, wow, I think it could have done better, definitely make the tweaks, repost the ad, try it again. It'll probably go better. Facebook likes stuff that is being actively clicked on and worked on. So if your stuff isn't actively being clicked on and worked on, the sooner you kill it and the sooner you do something else, the better off you'll be, right? So, and that's the Facebook side of the road. Now, once you have something like this running, if people are liking and commenting, let me show you this. You can actually invite them to like your page, right? If you just click this button right here, now I just invited all these people to like the page. Now I know that's one thing that kind of sucks is you have to individually click every one of these people to like the page. But that's going to send all these people that liked your post to like the page, right? I'm not going to do it all with you guys on the line here, but you get the idea. When they share, you can like, you can comment on their page, and all their friends will see what you say. So if you got 70 people out there and you make a message out there and you're saying, hey, this is, you know, amazing stuff and here's an update and whatever, you can post anything you want, their friends are going to see what you say. And so their sphere of influence, you can use their sphere of influence to spread your message. So again, going back to the offer, it can be any kind of an offer, a commercial offer, something that you're interested in and passionate about. It can be anything. But when you go to their shares, when you go to their comments, same deal. You can click their name. You can add them as a friend. You can, in some cases, comment on their posts if they allow it, right? Or even if they don't, if you find something really interesting, like a fundraiser, you can share it. And people like that stuff, right? So that's how you can really spread your message out there and to take advantage of social media. Now that's just one side of social media. So you have the page side of things, but you also have your personal profile thing. And if you really want to spread that message, then you can join different groups and things like that. So, for example, in my case, I can do a search on something for healthcare, and there's all these different, you know, pages and groups, right? So I could potentially join some of these pages. And the goal is you got to remember not to be spammy. All right, that's the mistake that people make when they join different groups or whatever. Of course, you also got to make sure it's in your own country, not in another country, right? But if you join a page such as this one, Health Digest or whatever, um, or Time for Natural Health Care, yeah, there we go. All right, now you can see there's 1,600 comments, right, on this page. So if you join the page here, I'll just join it here. And then I'm going to have page comments like this, or posts like this, appearing in my feed. But here, you can post, as yourself, of course, messages, and you try not to be spammy. You can say, yeah, this is great, it worked for me, and by the way, I'm doing, this diet, or I'm finding out about this healthcare program. Does anybody, a great one is, has anybody ever tried this healthcare program? Or has anybody ever tried, you know, this other thing, right? You ask the question. Of course, you already know the answer to it, but you ask the question. And you try to invite people to reply to it. And if you look around, those Russian spammers were famous about asking very neutral questions. So if you can do that, that's one of the key things, because now you're going to get people on both sides trying to prove you wrong. But now they're interacting with you. Some of them are going to find out more about you, and that's how they're going to find out about your page. And again, that's all that indirect marketing and advertising. All right. So I know I crammed a lot onto this in just a few minute thing, um, but there's one more tidbit about targeting. Um, so it depends on what your message is. You don't want to always make your message or your ad very broad. If you do a standard boost, I mean, you can be lazy to make a standard boost, but if you're wanting to be more targeted, you can do that. So, for example, if you hit edit here, there's this huge detailed targeting database that Facebook offers. Now, let me explain something right here. This is what Cambridge Analytica used to really spread the influence of, negative advertising, right? This is what the Russians have used, are still using to this day, to spread negative advertising. So again, whatever good can also be used for bad. Now, what Facebook has changed is they've locked down some of the viral aspects of this database, but this database is still wide open. So you can put in anything in here. Health as an interest, health as an employer, health as a policy, women's health. I mean, the database is quite large. So the key is, and by the way, I have on the line with me here Esther, who I'm training along with all you guys. And if y'all have any questions or comments or whatever, you can post it directly onto my stream, and I'll be sure to answer your questions as I can. I will open this up for questions in just a few minutes. So the key with that targeting, by the way, is that you can have a very defined message along with that targeting. And here's one of the key points. Facebook doesn't care what kind of targeting that you do and if it's a nonprofit or a for-profit ad. As long as you're not infringing it on any brand, as long as you're not spreading today any kind of real fake news, you're more than welcome to spread your message in any way possible, right? So that's one of the key points about this, is that you can really have a tailored message to a tailored audience that may eat up that message and spread that message like wildfire, which is exactly what happened when our elections were hacked. Now, how can you use this for good? Or how can you use this for marketing? Well, for example, Beyond Meat. If you notice, there's a lot of, uh, just advertising now, practically, by Burger King and all these others, spreading, the veggie burgers, basically, with the new version of veggie burgers. That's all out there now, right? So those posts are spreading like wildfire across social media because it is trendy and because it is targeted. So if you want to get a little more detail on how even this targeting works, there's a way to do it. Like, I would never rent a luxury car, but let's find out why Nomad Points thought and Facebook thought I'd be a good match for this luxury car. You can click the link and you can see a lot more information about how Facebook picks you. All right? They tell you right here how it's all put together. You can go into your ad preferences and you can see what exact information Facebook knows about you. You can even see how often you're getting ads. You can see what ad topics that you want to, you can actually hide a few ad topics like alcohol and so forth. It's a great deal of information there about how Facebook figures out to target you. And let's see here. It was a way, and I guess perhaps that has now changed. Oh, I know, right here. Why am I seeing this ad from Amazon? You're seeing this ad because you went to their website. So this is what they call a retargeting ad. Facebook spends money to advertise to you. And if we scroll down, here's another one, Wealthfront. Why am I seeing this ad? Well, because you're kind of similar to the other customers that they do business with. So what they did is they uploaded their customer database. Keep in mind, I'll say this again. They uploaded their customer database or marketing database to Facebook and said, find me more like these people. So Facebook is sitting on a massive database, a very massive database of customer buying habits and things like that. And their artificial intelligence system is using that information to target. So how can you use that? Well, even if you have a list of, say, 3,000 or 5,000 people, you can actually upload that to Facebook. That can only be done on the business.facebook.com side, though. But when you go to create one of these ads, there is a section for audience. I'm just going to jam through this real quick to get to it. Where you can create a new lookalike audience. That's how that works. And you can even say, so if you pick 10%, that's like a very broad match to the audience you have. If you have 1%, that's a very narrow match to the audience that you have. Right? So, and then you can create this audience just by uploading your database or your customer list. See right here, your customer list. You could even do based on your page or your website traffic, or Facebook will take your data in any way that you have it. All right? So that's how that works. If you create that lookalike audience, Facebook will find people that closely matches who you have, and they'll try to monetize, help you monetize your offer. All right. So that's how that works. So I've gone over a lot, and like I said, I have Esther on the line with me here. Esther, do you have any questions so far?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Great. All right. And likewise, anybody else that's listening, even after the show, feel free to post a comment or whatever. I'll definitely see it, and I'll definitely respond. So, all right. Moving right along. I have not used Instagram in quite a while. I don't even know if my profile is still active because it's just not my type. But Instagram and Pinterest are kind of similar in their approach, and of the two, I think Instagram is probably the more popular one, with Pinterest being a close second. Now, the difference with Instagram versus Pinterest is Instagram, you have to kind of follow the people, and then you can kind of see their posts, right? Which actually makes it really difficult to do anything with Instagram, which is probably not a lot of people do anything with it, right? But you can see people are scrolling through pictures and whatnot and liking it. So again, very hard to do anything with Instagram, but that's why I don't recommend advertising on Instagram. Pinterest, on the other hand, um, tend to be a little bit less popular, but a lot more effective. All right. So if you go into here, you can join a lot of these different pins, actually. And when you do, um, you're then able to, and you can also create your own pins. But then you're able to link. So, for example, let me see if I can find some kind of health group, right? All right, like here, let's see this. There's all these different categories here, right? So let's just say we join on to, I don't know, this one, this board, right? So you can follow this board, and then from here, you can actually make comments that a lot of people will end up seeing. And here's where you can say, well, this might go well with my diet. By the way, has anybody else ever considered, I don't know, cabbage wraps? Whatever. Um, Now, something like this, they may not allow public posts. So if you want to find, so you have to try to find a board that does allow public posts. For example, maybe this one, healthy swaps, or maybe not. There's a tool out there, there's a few tools out there, and I can include it on the next show, that allows you to more quickly search for um, boards that you can join that have, for example, 10 or 15,000 followers. I will also make available, um, I have, and I'll try to post it up on my Facebook post. I'll see if there's a way to compile this. But I have a webinar that I participated in. It was called the Board Traffic Academy. You don't necessarily have to sign up for their system. For $397, it's actually absolutely ridiculous. But they actually kind of go into detail the exact strategy that I was talking about with, how do you find the board and so forth. It's just a matter of searching for the board and then, pinning a post to that board. When you pin a post to that board, you can actually include a link that goes directly back to your website. And that website has, again, your offer. So Pinterest, before you say, well, I don't think Pinterest is that interesting or that compelling only because I don't use it, right? Let me show you their stock and what their stock is doing. Their stock has been doing quite well over the last year. And that's because their revenue's been doing quite well. And the revenue is only doing quite well because people are advertising like crazy on Pinterest because it works. So you definitely want to take the time to figure out Pinterest, create some graphics that you can pin up to Pinterest that people might like. For example, pictures of, let's say if I'm trying to promote, my latest diet thing, then maybe I take pictures of my diet, what I make, and I say, isn't this beautiful or something, and pin it up there. And then away it goes, right? That's how that works. See how that goes right back to help.com? And now they're making money on the fact that I clicked. Well, they're not because I have ad blocker on. But if I didn't have ad blocker on, like if I was going on mobile, which is where 60% of the people that go onto websites these days are all on mobile. So if you go into a website that has advertising, that's how they make money. All right, now I want to show you guys one more thing. This is down the line. The first thing you want to do, by the way, is just get your offer up. Just get any offer up. It doesn't matter what the offer is, actually, because there's tons of different ones actually out there. It's crazy the amount of offers that are out there that can make you good money. You just have to pick one decent one that's in a broad category, such as health. Health is popular. In the United States, 20% of the gross domestic product is spent on health. So if you want even a tiny sliver of that, then you want to do something with health. Now, I'm going to show you something else. There's this thing called allowed notifications and whatnot. A lot of the bigger websites, they have that. And notifications, by the way, can be really huge. Before I get to that, the first thing you want to set up after you set up your website, just a basic landing page or something, is you want to set up an email campaign. The one I really recommend the most, only because it is so powerful and so easy to use, is Drip. And by the way, you can see I'm not even making money on this. I will post up a link to my Bitcoin wallet if you want to donate. I'll post up a link to my Patreon page if you have a credit card. Just donate something on there. I'm doing this to get the information out there because I want people to really understand how this works and how easy this stuff is. I mean, this is nothing more than just a few hours of navigating some website, taking the time to understand it a little bit more, creating an offer, and then away you go. It may be a little pricey at $49 in the beginning, but let me tell you, Drip makes you money. It is one of the most cheapest ways and cost-effective ways of monetizing your email list. And the number one thing you want to do when you land on a website is to get their email. Not their Facebook, not their Pinterest. You want to get their email list, right? And that's what this is right here, subscribe. Well, in this case, there's still a print ad, maybe bad example. But there are other websites that do it better, where they have you sign up. So in any case, the other one, which was notification, website push notification, trying to remember the name of that website. Oh yeah, well, there's a dozen of them out there, but there's like push alert. Alternative to push alert, but what was that one good one? And if you just watch what I'm doing, you can see how I can very quickly find something that I'm looking for, right? Like SE ranking. May not be the best one. Let's just go with opt-in monster, right? I remember a friend of mine said he used it and it kind of worked. So when somebody goes onto your website, like I just did, I went onto help.com and I left, that's called an abandonment. And the number one thing that marketers try to do is they try to not have abandonments. They want people to go onto the website. They want people to stay onto the website. They want people to come back to the website so that they can perhaps get a second, third, fourth, fifth chance of offering something that somebody will buy. So here's the deal. First thing that Opt-in Monster did was try to get my email. You see that? The second thing is they have a big thing. Get it now. Everybody's using it. The pricing actually is not too bad. It's just $10 a month to start, for 5,000 page views. Hardly anything. And so what this little widget does, it works on any website, is, here we go. Another pop-up, right? They're really trying to get me to convert. So I hope you notice this is how marketing really works, direct marketing. After you put an offer out there that somebody may be interested in, like 15 fitness tips for you, they land onto this website. Oh my God, this guy just purchased. They land onto this website to try to get you to sign up. Get it now type of thing. Just $29 a month. Well, maybe I just tried it $10 a month. They'll take your money any way that you can, right? Oh, you only got 3 hours and 42 minutes to do it. All right. So these are all different ways to get a conversion, right? And if they use the notification widget as well, which is kind of weird, I haven't seen the notification widget on their own website, but I digress. It does work. And that notification widget is very easy to use so that when you go onto a website and you leave the website, it's called a push notification. You'll see an alert in your bottom right that something new has happened on that website you visited. And for some crazy reason, somewhere between 5 and 10% of all the website visitors will get that. So email marketing is probably the most effective, followed by, that notification marketing, followed by just participating on Facebook and Messenger. If you have a page, if you have an offer, Messenger, Facebook Messenger is a great way to communicate with your audience. And that's one-on-one though, but it really does work. And I would also say, along with that, having a phone number for your offer as well is important, which may be hard in the beginning, but as you go, there are things like call centers and things like that that can really work. But number one method, Facebook, along with email, is a great way to get started. Questions? No questions. Great. All right. Well, this video is going to be out there. Feel free to share it with your friends. This is how social media marketing works in a nutshell. It does not get simpler than this. People have made millions of dollars with this information, and they charge $500, $1,000 or more for so-called training on this information. Here, y'all have all this for absolutely free. Use it wisely.